How has being in the photo booth renting business changed your life?
Having that freedom to basically still spend time with your family, you have to find different ways to stand out. If you wanted to charge $1 million, you have to look like $1 million. You know, like that's the way we approached it.
You were investing in your child instead of giving him an asset.
Exactly.
That doesn't, appreciate over time. You're giving him something he can actually work on, be disciplined with.
Obviously, in the beginning, it's really discouraging because it's like, you really think it's your friends and family that are going to be supportive.
Why the fuck did you spend all this money on a photo booth?
Well, our weekends are basically gone. We don't really make it to any of our birthday parties, graduation, things like that. If you treat it as a side hustle, it's going to continue to pay like a side hustle. If you actually treat it like a business that you want to quit your 9-to-5.
Photo Booth International is going to give you the tools you need, but it's up for you to stand out.
I come in here, it looks professional. Tune into the content.
Welcome back, everybody, to a special episode of Direct Discussions Podcast. This is a continuation with our episode that included Josh Pather out of Photo Booth International. You can find her on Instagram as a Premier Photo Booth, Premier Photo Booth. Anyways, we like to introduce our guest today, Juanita Jimenez Rivera.
Ooh, let's go.
Hey.
Let's go. I wish we had the clap for it.
Right?
Alrighty. So, we've been keeping up with the photo booth company quite a bit. It's crazy because, I talk to Josh maybe like 3 times a week and we just kind of talk about, what he does. I've seen his ads and whatnot. And so, one thing that we're trying to do right now is kind of like pull that veil over all the ads and all the sponsorships and all that he's putting out to attract more clients. The reason we have you here on today is because we like to learn more about the photo booth industry. So, number one question, how'd you get involved with the photo booth industry?
Honestly, it was actually my son's idea. My husband and I had been talking to him about basically just kind of thinking outside the box, trying to do something different than most of his friends at his age, which was obviously back in 2022 when he was still 14. So we kind of threw a few ideas at him, and we just happened to be at one of his friends' birthday parties. I don't know if y'all have noticed the quinceañeros are kind of a thing. 15s for boys.
I didn't
Quinceañeros are crazy, bro.
I didn't realize that was coming in nowadays.
No, that's definitely become a thing. And he's been playing soccer for a while, and one of his soccer buddies had a party. They had a digital booth, and kind of from there, we just... we talked about it a few days later, like, hey, oh my God, that was so cool. Like, that was our first time experiencing like the text to phone feature. So once we, talked about it a little bit more, he was like, you know what, that's actually kind of a cool idea, fun way to make money. And obviously the booth was just there. It was a drop off booth, but he was like, that's an easy way to make money. So we were like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, I didn't really think much of it, but then he brought it up again. And, just talking to him, we basically explained to him, like, all right, we're not going to buy you a car. Instead, we're going to invest into something that's going to keep making you money, and then you can do whatever you want. You want to get yourself a car, go from there.
I mean, theoretically, you were investing in your child.
Exactly.
You're literally investing in him instead of giving him an asset.
Exactly.
That doesn't, appreciate over time. You're giving him something he can actually work on, be disciplined with, and, start taking that accountability as a young man growing into an adult.
Definitely.
That's like real big and real smart. I think that's really smart.
No, yeah, my husband's idea for sure. Like he has that entrepreneur mindset, and he definitely wanted to pass that on to them.
That's really good too, because he's starting that basically as a freshman. By the time he's a senior,
8th grade actually, because he got held back a year because of his birthday. So we thankfully his school was really supportive, and now we literally do almost every single event for his school.
That's so cool, because now he started it at 14. By the time he's 18, hopefully he saved up enough money and he can buy his own car. And now you're teaching him that adult mindset and going into the next. I've
been trying to make him, be smart about it. He gets paid, just like all the other attendants. I give him his money, but I'm saving most of the profit for the car, because my husband, so that's another thing, he doesn't like car payments. He'd rather just pay cash, and that's obviously he needs his driver's license first. So.
Yeah, I love that. That's some Dave Ramsey right there. Pay it off in cash. Don't worry about a car payment.
No, yeah, that's one of my husbands.
I love that too, because it's like, bro, like, what? I don't even know. I don't remember what I was doing when I was 14, bro.
For real.
I think if I look back at it, when I was 14, I was riding my bike up and down the street and just going to my homeboy's house. I remember this one time, I snuck off to Houston for the weekend.
That's crazy.
Wow.
At 14? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we ended up going to Houston over the weekend with his dad, and then my mom called me later, and she was like, I think it took her 2 days to get a hold of me. And she was like,
"Oh my god!"
Yeah.
As a mom, that would.
She's like, "¿Qué estás haciendo?"
No, no. She talks English, bro. She was like, "Yo, where the fuck you at?"
That's me right there.
I'm in Houston.
Yeah,
that would be me.
I was like, "You obviously know where I'm at if you're calling." And she's like, "Well, get your ass back over here." I was like, "I had to wait on my homeboys to drop us back off."
Oh my god.
I think it's just
funny.
I think it's just so inspiring to have parents that are actually providing opportunities for their kids.
Yeah.
Just like you were able to provide that opportunity for your son with Photo Booth International. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Josh Pather, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Next question I got is how did it affect your life afterwards? Because before that, I'm pretty sure you had another source of income coming in.
Yeah. Well. After COVID, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I've been staying home since 2020. But before that, I was working at an orthodontist office, and COVID hit, and I was just not going to put my grandma at risk, so we stopped that. And so obviously having that customer service experience, it definitely helped, with the photo booth and networking and talking to people. Mm-hmm. So I definitely took on that role. Whenever he brought up, wanting to start the business, I did my research. Obviously, we knew we were going to be investing quite amount of money. Mm-hmm. So I decided to just, dig deep. Mm-hmm. That's how I ended up finding PBI, Josh, all his videos on YouTube. The more I looked into it, the more it was like a good fit. Because I'm like, you know what? They were down the street. Another thing. So we were able to go look at them, kind of play with the booths. And then I came back and talked to my son. I was like, hey, this is how much it's going to cost. This is what you're looking at. This is how much your, possibilities of how much you can make. Obviously, he liked the numbers.
Yeah. As a 14-year-old, you're like, anything more than what I got now is good.
So, and, obviously, my husband being their stepdad, to me, I just brought it up, it was just so important not to let the business fail. Mm-hmm. So once we actually finally made the purchase, we bought one booth. And then I think 2-3 weeks later, we added the mirror booth. Oh, okay. Because, I just used it as a tactic.
Okay, so when you started and you said you had bought the first booth, how much were the numbers when you first bought it and everything like that? And were you a little skeptical before... I know you were like, oh, this is a really good idea, but were you a little skeptical thinking maybe this is a scam, or how was your mindset thinking about it?
Honestly, not really. They clearly had a good reputation. They had really good reviews. So yeah, it didn't seem like a scam. I just, obviously, just like car salesman, you kind of have to be smart with how you approach everything. It's like, all right, well, what are they, let me see what I'm getting myself into first.
Let me make sure they're not lying to me.
Yeah, so I definitely went up there. My husband and I, we looked at the booths. Obviously, the mirrors were definitely they were really show-stopping in itself. Mm-hmm, yeah. So once we did that, I came back and I showed Ivan, I'm like, hey, this is obviously the booth that we can afford right now. Let's start small. Let's not go too crazy. Yeah. But then after we made the purchase, I told my husband, I was like, everybody's going to be wanting a mirror booth. So I'm like...
So how does the mirror booth work, though?
It's just a big... everybody calls it like a big iPhone. It's just a big full-length touchscreen interactive mirror.
That does sound a lot better than the other one. So how much was the initial investment when you first started?
For the first one, I think it was about $6,000.
Okay, and when you say 6,000, what does all that 6,000 come with?
It came with the photo booth, the printer, and then I think it came with a warranty. I think we did do an extended warranty, and then what else? I mean, obviously they do a lot of support. I don't think they include that in the price, but they do a lot of help for, when you're starting the business. So we did that. And then, like I said, 2-3 weeks later, we added the mirror booth because I used it as a tactic. Like, hey, people are going to definitely want to book the mirror. But if it's out of their budget, then we have the smaller booth, so which is still a mirror, but the picture quality. How much
was that one? So you already initially invested $6, and then you were like, okay, now we need to go invest more. So how much was that one?
Yeah, I think that one was like about 11 or 12,000.
Oh, okay, that's a big upgrade. So now when you're doing all this, is it financed through them, or you went and got a loan, or how does that work?
Yes, we did it through them. They have their own, whoever they use.
Financial company.
So we did it that way, and it worked out. I mean, I think the Chloe's already paid off.
Is that the first one?
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still, I think we have maybe another year with the mirror. Okay. So, obviously in the beginning we were just like, all right, well, as long as we have 2 events, we can at least for sure pay them off. But you can't have that mentality either.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just settle. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing too that we really wanted to push for. Like, don't just be okay with just the 2 events to pay off the booth. Like, we definitely want to target, expand and grow. And I mean, thank God now we're up to 7 booths.
You have to think about it this way too. It's like you're pretty much buying them a car at that point with like 4 photo booths, if they're like $5-6 grand each, which is like, I mean, I'd rather, have 5 or 6 different cars and comparatively speaking, if I'm getting like those photo booths. So why wouldn't you? If you're paying like $400, $500 a month on a car note, you might as well just go and use that 20 grand to go get you 2-3 photo booths and go crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, we're talking photo booths here, but, we really want to know, what other stuff do you have to do on the side to make that photo booth business more profitable aside from grabbing the photo booth from Photo Booth International?
We definitely network a lot with schools. Mm-hmm. Again, with Ivan's, luckily he's a really popular kid. He does sports. So we've met a lot of friends and family that have been really supportive. Facebook, I don't really try to, this is the thing though, like I've tried to avoid spending money outside. Like everything I did to build the business, I tried to save as much money as possible. I built our own website. Didn't really spend much money on ads. I just, there's Facebook groups for party pages, like, things like that. So I would just post. It was obviously in the beginning, it's really discouraging because it's like, you really think it's your friends and family that are going to be supportive, and it's usually never. It never is.
That's how it works. Yeah. Trust me and Roger.
Oh yeah.
We know how it goes.
No,
that's exactly how it goes.
No, because then they just look at you and they're like, "Why the fuck did you spend all this money on a photo booth?" Or, "Oh, you got a stupid little podcast going on. Ain't nobody gonna watch." Stuff like that, dude.
No, yeah.
I actually think that's a good idea when you said using the schools, because if you think about it, a lot of elementaries, middle schools, and high schools do like a field day or whatever it is at the end of the school year, or even at the beginning they have homecoming and stuff. So if you had that photo booth and you could book it up with like a whole what is it called in my school district, you'd be able to hit all 5 or 6 high schools, or maybe the middle schools as well.
Definitely.
Create a partnership, a deal with them. So that's actually a good idea to do, to get into high schools or even any of the schools initially, just to start getting some business rolling in.
Right now we're only doing the Garland location, but my kids' schools, it's a charter school, the International Leadership of Texas, and we started with his 8th grade dance. They were pretty happy with it, and they've literally booked us. I think we've probably have like 10 events now.
So when you did that one with the school, was that through the school, or you went through the ISD to do that?
So it's not an ISD, so since it's a charter school, it's a little bit different. And I just did, I was part of the PTO.
PTA.
They call it PTO.
Parent teacher organization.
Yes.
They're trying to be a little more professional.
Yes. Now they call. I know it throws people off and like, what? Like PTO something? No.
Paid time off.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the ups and downs that come with having your own photo booth? Because like you said, you bought this for your son, so I know your son can't do everything on his own at 14.
Exactly.
Of course, driving there, doing all this, trying to meet people at 14 and try to, hey, come on. So what are the ups
he's
and
gotten
downs?
a lot better now. Like he's like I said, he's a people person with his friends, people that he knows. But like obviously like, you know, talking to a random stranger or going up to them to like invite them to come to the photo booth. Because, you know, sometimes there's downtime.
Yeah.
He's growing on that. Like he's maturing and talking more. But I would say like the hardest thing would be, oh my God, I went blank.
I think the hardest thing for any 14-year-old is just, you know, growing into that mentality where it's just like, okay, I have a business I gotta run. I got a business I gotta run, but man, I want to hang out with my friends. Nope. Work comes first.
That would be one big thing.
Because, you know, if you think about it this way, you know, a lot of us were probably working with our parents, you know, when we were 13, 14. I know my dad used to take me to go be his little chalan when I was 10, you know, doing remodels and shit.
Yeah, no. See, well, our weekends are basically gone. We don't really make it to any of our birthday parties, graduation, things like that.
But I mean, I figured, you know, since we've been talking as of the last couple of weeks, you know, trying to plan this out, you know, I got 3 events this day, 4 events this day, and just thinking about the whole scheduling. I mean, most of the events are going to take place on the weekends. You know, you got your quinceañeras, you got, you know, right now it's prom season, dude. Like everybody's doing proms, graduations. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what's kept us busy. And I remember we were trying to do it on a Wednesday, and I ended up having a school banquet for a baseball team. So yeah, definitely.
So when you reach out to other schools, do you know, are they all like, you know, charter schools related, or do you get partnered up with some of the schools in the actual school district? Because I feel like you'd probably have to go through some sort of, you know,
school board maybe.
Yeah, on that.
Yeah, no, for this one, I just approached the PTO moms. After that, all the other schools that we've done, they've found us through Google.
That's really good.
I haven't had to like actually like, hey, you know.
I've seen some of your setups though, because I mean, you know, let's be honest, you know, Josh at Photo with International is going to give you the tools you need, but it's up to you to, you know, stand out. And, you
Definitely.
know, one of the biggest things I've seen with your, you know, Instagram page is, you know, the various backdrops. Could you take us on a little journey on how you started using backdrops? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't start just saying right off the bat, oh, we need backdrops for this, and that.
Yeah. No, so we definitely made sure to invest. We wanted to, you know, if you wanted to charge $1 million, you have to look like $1 million. You know, like that's the way we approached it. It's like, I'm not gonna go with the cheap curtains. I'm not gonna go for anything that's not gonna look clean. Like having a girl's eye is definitely needed for it, because it's like some setups I'm just like, I can't. But no, I made sure that we did like, you know, the fitted pillow sleeve backdrops. I did research. Like I said, it's like, you know, comparing pricing, because it's the photo booth. Like if y'all really look into it, it's very competitive, especially here in Dallas. It's super saturated. You have to find different ways to stand out. I did my research. I was like, okay, what's going to make us stand out? One thing that I, you know, approached was the template designs. I do the custom template designs. You know, like I said, when we did the game plan before we actually made the purchase, we're like, all right, well, what are everybody's going to bring to the table? Like, obviously my husband gave the money.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, here's the money. Here's the booths.
It's all y'all now.
Yeah, it's all y'all. So I told Ivan, I was like, hey, like, I need you to talk to the PTO moms, like, you know, because a lot of them, like, basically almost, they live there. They're part of the school. They're so attached to, you know, helping. And so he had approached them. He mentioned it to them. And then I kind of reached out again. And that's kind of how we ended up there. And then, like I said, we made a list of what I'm going to help with, what I'm going to try to do. And literally, like, you know, like what we were talking about, how like we don't have any support, much support from friends and family. I had made a list. I'm like, oh, such and such is having a quinceañera. They're getting married. Out of those 10 people that I had on the list, only 2 of them booked us. You know, so that tells you something. Yeah.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but with those people that you booked, did they agree to pay full price, or did you approach them with a discounted rate?
I definitely. The way I approach it, I do more of a free upgrade. I don't do really much discounts. When it's like family and friends, it's like, all right, well, you book this package, I'll upgrade you to this package. Or you book the Chloe price, I'll give you the mirror. Something like that. Like whenever it's friends and family. Like,
that's a good investment. I mean, a good exchange right
that
there.
way they feel like it's, they still got some sort of hookup. But then again, like, don't try to lowball me either.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it does take time. There's a lot behind the scene that goes with the photo booth. So it's like,
yeah, let's say I have an event this Saturday I already booked you for. How much are you going to charge me? And then what time does your day start if I want the event at 3 p.m.?
Right now we're doing a lot of graduations. So let's assume it's a graduation event. Some people don't want to pull away from the prints. So the package would start at $450 for limited prints. Okay. Now, if you want unlimited, that's another $150.
Is that with the first mirror, or the cheaper mirror?
The Chloe. The smaller booth. Okay. Yeah. So $450 to $600, let's say. We include the backdrop. We include the props. We include obviously the booth, online digital gallery. So literally after my event is over. So we'll show up an hour before the event, and then once we actually run through the 2 hours, we'll pick everything up. Usually takes about 30 minutes to pick up. Not even, honestly. I think we've timed ourselves. We're pretty good at 15, 20 minutes.
In and out.
Right now that the Mavericks are, we're trying to get home, watch the games. Like, we're a big sports family. So we're like trying to rush back. Obviously after everybody's happy. But we send an online gallery at the end of the night, literally as I'm leaving the parking lot. Because these are the little things that I try to do to stand out from everybody else. It's like, oh, they're literally still at the party and they get the text. Like, they have all their pictures already.
Quick and assertive.
Yes. So I don't want to wait. Obviously it's in my contract still stated that, within a week you'll receive your pictures. But I definitely, like I said, little things to stand out. You see trash, you pick it up, things that they're going to appreciate. And,
the details matter. If we had the event at 3 p.m., you would show up around 2, set up, give yourself some leeway time. You would go from 3 to 5, and as soon as 5 hits 5, you start picking up. You'll be done by 5:30.
Yeah, so depending how the event went, sometimes graduation party, obviously the girl, whoever is graduating is not going to miss coming to the photo booth. But I usually try to get family. Like, if the mom is the one that booked us, I'm like, hey, make sure you get a picture. We have 5 minutes left, 10 minutes left. Make sure to come get a picture. And they appreciate those little things because they get so sidetracked. The party's going on.
So they get notifications?
Yeah.
Do they get a notification, or you're like walking up to her saying, hey,
I go up to them. I do. Okay. Obviously, if I can't find them, I'll shoot them a text like, hey, we have 15 more minutes.
Okay, gosh.
But I'll try to catch them like, hey, we got 10 minutes. Make sure to come get a picture with, your daughter and that kind of deal.
So do you stay at the event the whole time as an attending, or do you, maybe go somewhere else, come back, and then kind of reach out to them remotely?
Yeah. So we have different options in different photo booths. So right now we're up to 7 now.
7 different photo booths?
7 different photo booths.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So in 2 years, you went from 2 weeks out of the second one, and then you're talking about in what is it, like a year and a half, you already done upgraded 5 more booths.
Yes. No, yeah. So we're definitely staying busy and occupied. We do we have 2 of the Chloes, 1 of the mirrors, and then a few other digital drop-offs that we can do drop-offs for. Gotcha. So for the most part, anytime that there's prints, we have to have an attendant there. We just don't want to risk it. Kids pulling on the prints, it can jam it. There's so many things that could go wrong. So we definitely always have an attendant for those booths. But any of the social digital booths, it's a little bit more flexible because it's like such a user-friendly photo booth that they can do it themselves.
So what inspired you to want to go from the 2 to the 3, 4, up to the 7? How long was that process to go from 2 to 7?
I think it took 6 months after we purchased the first 2.
And then that's when you added the next 1 or 2, or you went and said, let's get 5?
Yeah, so we kept getting requests for 360s.
All the way around.
Yeah, the spinning booth. We went, I think 6 months after we did our purchase, that people kept asking us, like, oh, do you have a 360? And I was like, no, we don't. The liability, more so for liability.
Why is that? That's the one where you stand in the middle, right? And it goes around.
And it spins around, yeah. So obviously it's a video production. It's no longer photo booth. So you have to price it accordingly. But like I said,
Those are hot right now.
Yeah. It's
they
so
are hot.
And
those are hot.
here in Dallas, it's so oversaturated, and people are just like undercharging because it's like, come on now.
They're undercharging to just get.
But the quality, and it's like, whenever people are looking for a photo booth, it's like, I let my work speak for itself. So our setups are nice and clean. The quality is good. You know, I usually try to, get to know what it is that they want for their event. If they care for the quality of the pictures, then obviously a DSLR camera, booth is the better way to go. If they don't, they just want the experience, and they don't really care too much about like, oh my God, like perfect, there's smooth pictures and all that. So it's like, you kind of have to know what it is that the client wants.
See, I think that's one thing as a customer I can appreciate from you specifically is that, aside from having the photo booth itself, you're also providing the experience, and I think that's very key nowadays, because you can go anywhere and take a picture with all these cameras laying around, or you can just go, for example, a phone, but, having to be like, dang, look at all this stuff I can take a picture with. I go to couple of corporate events a year, and it's just like, there's props, there's hats, little scarves and all that, and I mean, I'm not gonna take a picture in one of those wearing a hat, but I know everyone else is like so indulged with the whole experience, and I really think that's probably what makes you stand out, the fact that you pay so much attention to detail and provide that overwhelming experience for them to indulge. Because, I mean...
For sure.
Come on, let's go take a picture on the photo booth, guys. Come on. Other than just seeing a little boring thing. Oh, let's take a picture right there in the little photo booth. No.
Honestly, when you say it like that and you put the emphasis in the detail, it really sounds like the other people in the saturated market are just looking to make the money, and you're really looking to provide the experience with the detail. And the details come in with the experience. So that's really good, and that's what's going to set you apart from the rest of everybody else.
Exactly. Even the props, like you mentioned, like I custom design our own props for that same reason. We want to definitely stand out. What does everybody have? Every setup that I saw, they had the same exact props.
Glasses and hats and scarves.
Yeah.
Everything, like even the signs that they hold. Like I started, looking into like, okay, what's in, what songs are in, because that's another thing. Like they like the catchy phrases, things that they, TV shows, things like that. And I'm like, I'll incorporate that. I definitely want to do more research on that though, because I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. You're not trying to get sued either.
On like copyright stuff.
I mean, certain things is like you definitely have to be really careful, but it's different for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, it sounds bad, but at the same time too, it's like, I'm providing you free advertisement with my business. Like, don't sue me.
It's both. Yeah, I would think a good one would be, just because you said that, would be like Sexy Reds, like the Go Sexy. If you had that song playing and it has the sign that says Go Sexy and everybody's like twerking or dancing.
Oh yeah, no.
Take a picture.
I try not to even bother with with music for the 360.
Oh, okay,
because no.
Okay, so let's get into a little bit of the numbers. So we talked about how much it costs to start up theoretically for you or for anybody when you're going for the cheaper one. So now, being 2 years in, how do the numbers look maybe per month? I know it's all going to depend on how many like events that you can book, but like how often are you booking now that you're 2 years in, 7 different machines going? So like how does that look for you?
I say a safe number would say like 550 average
per event theoretically.
Per event. Okay. And this past month, end of April, beginning of May, the whole month of May, and right now the beginning of June, I think it's been hard to keep up with all the events.
Okay, you're making, anywhere from $400 to $600 an event, bro. Most people are making $1,200 average, a week. Not even $1,200 a week, bro.
No, probably not.
No, like $600 a week, bro.
Doing their own photo booth.
No, not even doing a photo booth, bro. In general, bro. People who have jobs, they're working 40 plus hours a week, and they're only making like...
Let's call it 1,200. Okay, let's call it 1,000.
Okay. No. $600-$700, bro, a week.
Okay. Let's call it 8 then. People are making $800 a week.
No, we're not calling it 8. We're calling it $600-$700.
Okay, $600-$700.
$600-$700.
Less money. Everybody's making less money.
Everybody's making less money than you can be if you could just buy a photo booth, take the risk and invest in yourself.
That's what keeps my son motivated. It's like he has friends now, obviously, that have a job, and then I'm sure he's asked them like, oh, how much are you making? And it's like he gets whatever amount, yeah, and he'll be like, in obviously he's not the type to brag or talk about it, or he doesn't really talk much about it, which I've been getting onto him. I'm like, dude, we need to expand. Like we can grow this even bigger. Like, once we saw the actual potential and how much we grew, like how fast we grew, I'm like, the sky's the limit. That's why we've added so many booths. And, like I said, he's been playing sports. So I was his team manager. So this whole dragging me into his business, it's nothing new. Because I was the team manager for his soccer club. It kept me busy, it kept me occupied, and it kept him out of trouble. That's my same, intention, with the photo booth business. Yeah. It's like, we definitely want to keep him occupied, out of trouble. And he's making money. So obviously he can't make plans with his friends. I mean, he still does. I still let him be a kid because, I don't want him hating it. Yeah. So he loves the money. He loves, I guess he should love spending time with his mom. Yeah. We were really close. Like I said, when I was his team manager, like, every weekend we were always together. So this is nothing new of us spending so much time together. But he definitely has been comparing the numbers like in his head. Like
my friend gets paid this much and we're making this much doing this.
And like I said, I don't pay him the full amount because I'm putting everything away for him.
So what kind of car is he gonna get? This whole thing was about a car when he was 14.
Yeah. And now it's going to be like a really nice
he has
car.
Definitely upgraded, and I'm just like I said, my husband has talked to him like, you don't want a car payment. You don't want nothing too crazy. And then your insurance is going to be insane because, being a boy, I'm just like, you have to be smart. Like, don't, just go for, obviously we're definitely going to make him make a smart decision for that.
He wants to get a Urus.
Oh, that's an upgrade for sure. Big upgrade right there.
No, man, that's crazy. Because remember, okay, quick question. When you were 14, not even 14, you didn't even work when you're 14, but like, first job, I was making $8 an hour, bro. What was your first job like? Well, how much were you making your first job?
$7.50, bro.
That's crazy.
And I was working at Sonic. And as a car hop, as a guy, you don't make no money as a car hop. Girls make all the money as a car hop. With the Sonic, you don't make nothing as a car hop as a guy. You don't get nothing. Dang. Nothing even then back then. Even now, you probably don't make no money as a car hop. I'm telling you.
They get the screen there and everybody just feels bad.
They always tip the girls. They never tip the guys. That's how it always is.
That's not nice.
Yeah, I know, right?
I worked at Whataburger.
That's why I don't go to Sonic. That's why I don't go to Sonic.
Oh, you like bring it.
I'm tired of y'all. Y'all don't want to pay y'all's employees.
No.
That's funny.
That's crazy. You said you worked at Whataburger?
I worked at Whataburger, yes.
$7.25 an hour?
Yeah.
Yep, sounds about right.
That's crazy.
They're like, all we got to do is sell one combo and we pay for that one worker.
That's what I tell them. Basically. And that's what I tell them. I'm like, dude, what I made in 1 week, you make it in 1 day.
Yeah, for real. Like, from the times have changed.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it is.
But I think that's also important, too, for him to realize. And he's like, bro, like, now he's... kids are impressionable at a young age, and just, as parents, you guys are leaving that imprint on them, that entrepreneurial mindset at such a young age where he's still taking in so much information.
The work ethic, too.
Yeah, he's like, I'm making my own money. And probably when he gets older, he's going to say, I want to make my own money. So here's a good question. Have you, talked to him about, hey, when you're 20 or when you're 22, are you still going to want to be helping me build this business? Or do you want to take over, or are you just not interested anymore? Like, how does that work? Because I know he gets older and his likes and his dislikes are going to change. So how does that work for you?
Definitely. We've talked about this a few times, actually. And I'm just like, whenever you're ready for me to back off, I'm good. I'm like,
let me know, please. Yes. I'm out of here.
Yes, no, but, I'm like, obviously, like I said, the template designs have been a big thing that has helped us stand out. So, I told him, I was like, you can just pay me for that, because even I make money doing it for other booth companies. Yeah. Like, that's also another thing that I do on the side, on top of the photo booth. So I also sell template designs for other companies that, they just can't get creative. Yeah. Or they don't have the time. They still work a 9 to 5. And this is literally their side job, their side hustle. And so I've talked to him. He wanted, his initial goal was always like, I want to have something that I can pass on to my siblings, because he wants to go. He's played soccer since he was 4. His goal is to get a scholarship and go to college, and then realistically, my husband's really big on not, student loans. Like, he's just like, there's so many. That's why we started this. So that's still his goal. I've never pressured him about going to college. I'm like, I know you can still be successful without, all the loans and stuff. So we've talked about it, and he's just like, yeah, no, well, once I go off to college, Aaron can take over, my 10-year-old. It's like, he can,
so this is more like a family business.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, and I'm glad he's pursuing wanting to go to college, but like I said, I've never pressured him about it. But I have a feeling that he'll stick around, because the goals that I have, I try to make them like write their goals. We definitely want to try to target bigger events, especially sporting events. Like, that's one of our big things.
I like it because you're giving your son the flexibility to be able to do what he wants to do, which is to go play soccer and get a scholarship. But he also has the option, if he wanted to come back and, work for the business. Exactly. And if not, if he wanted to take the third option, which would, just go get a regular job at Whataburger or Sonic and then go do something else different.
I've always told him, I was like, always have a plan B. I'm like, I love your ambition. I love that you love the sport and that you're active. I'm like, but injuries is part of everything, like all sports. I'm like, that can't, you always have to have a plan B. So this is the business, we're making pretty decent money now. And it's like, I basically started everything for you. Now it's up to you to maintain it and how you want to do it. Like, I don't know. He doesn't have a girlfriend anymore, but he's trying to focus on soccer.
Oh, that's what you should do.
Yes.
So it's cool because he has a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
That's good. Most kids only have like a plan A, and they're kind of just stuck with it. So it's good that he's gotten that opportunity from you guys to have multiple options of what he wants to do.
Exactly, for sure.
No, it's funny because you mentioned the whole sports thing, and I hear so many people go down the lines where they're like, I could have gone pro, but I got hurt in high school. Now they're just stuck here, working a dead-end job, and it's like, with soccer, it's like, all right, cool, soccer's cool, but like, what's next after soccer? What if you don't get picked to go to the MLS? Because, or playing on the national team or the Olympics? Because
it's so hard.
It's so hard, dude. The probability of going like pro like that is maybe like 3%.
I think soccer's on another level just because of how big soccer is internationally around the whole world. Like, your option of getting picked is like way lower than it is with basketball, football, or any other basketball, football, and baseball. Like, soccer's played worldwide. So are the other sports, but like soccer's just like everybody grew up kicking a ball around. Yes. Everybody. So there's the options of getting picked are
very
so much more slim. Yeah.
So one question I have for you is, what are some of the key things that if somebody wants to hop into the photo booth rental business need to know before they actually make that decision?
I would have to say doing their research, making sure that even though it looks easy, which now that we're, 2 years in, it's easy. It's easy. But, not to get discouraged. I would say just doing their research, not getting discouraged because, like I said, not everybody's going to really support you. But if you actually take the time to treat it as a business rather than a side hustle, like if you treat it as a side hustle, it's going to continue to pay like a side hustle. If you actually treat it like a business that you want to quit your 9-to-5, like if you put all your, not all your time, obviously, because you're still having to work, but like do more research to stand out, things like that. Like you'll see the benefits. So definitely not treating it only as a side hustle because, like I said, you'll keep charging the lower, the cheap pricing, and it's not going to get them far, really. You'll see them on sale on Marketplace a year and a half later.
That's when you come in and swoop in and be like, I'm gonna buy that for the low.
And that's what we've done. That's literally kind of how what we've had to do. It's like, it sucks, but I know I definitely did a lot of research. I learned the software. Like, I had the flexibility, and that's the thing. Like, not everybody has that. Yeah. I stayed at home. I'm like folding laundry, watching the YouTube videos of the darkroom software, things like that. It's like you do your homework. You have to. Nothing's gonna come easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
No. So aside from that, has anybody within your personal community had thought about doing the same thing you're doing and trying to compete against you?
Not necessarily compete, but I have had 3 different people that I know that actually jumped on it. And I don't see anybody as competition. If anything, now, like, I've helped them with their software. I literally did everything that I had to learn. I've done it for them, like, on their booths to make it easier, to where now it's like, hey, like, I'm double booked, triple booked. They want prints. I don't have a prints photo booth available. Are you available? So I'll white label to them. So obviously I still keep a profit from it.
How does that work, white labeling?
So basically it's like, they'll still do everything under our name. They'll set up, it's their booth, their setup. I care too much about the aesthetics of it. So I've kind of recommended all the stuff that I use. Like I said, I don't see anybody as competition. It's like, hey, this is the backdrop people I use. This is, where I get this, where I get that. And now whenever I have those events, I'm like, hey, are you available this weekend? And basically I'll get a cut. I'll keep a percentage of it. Okay. And then, I have a set price with them. Like, this is what I'm willing to pay you. And obviously if they're not busy and they're not getting leads, even that amount is still, it's still
better than not getting anything.
Yeah, exactly. And they still, and I tell them, I'm like, don't think just because you're doing the event for us, you can still use not necessarily the content, because obviously I put our website on our template design, so they won't share those, but like there's setups, I'm like, y'all can use those pictures still. I'm like, I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah, they'll just see the setup back on my Instagram and be like, oh, I know that setup.
That's actually good though, because now if you're just too booked, you can just help somebody else take the next step up and just try to make some extra money as well. Like you said, if they're not making any money and you're too booked up and you can't get to that event, let me help you make some money.
And it's somebody that is trustworthy. So it's good to network even with photo booth companies. Like, you don't have to see people as competition. There's definitely room for everyone. There's definitely plenty of parties for everyone. Yeah. So I've tried helping them as much as I can. Obviously I don't know how they decided to get into the photo booth. Like if we are the ones that inspired them, who knows? I honestly never really questioned them about it. And they're like, oh, we got a booth. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
So you didn't ask them, like, did they go to Josh or did you recommend anybody to go to Josh?
2 of them bought from PBI.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't think I got referrals from those. I don't know how they actually, approached it with them.
They probably went up to Josh and be like, yeah, we saw Juanita's content, but don't tell her we saw it. No, don't worry.
We're not trying to give her that money.
No, it's like, the third family, they're actually from the school, and they parents that, they thought it was a good idea, and they invested a lot of money too right off the bat. And it's definitely not as easy as it looks. So
yeah, it's always a good idea until you figure out how much work you got to do.
Exactly. And then your weekends are gone. Like it was easier for us to get rid of our weekends because I was already so busy with his soccer. Like parties, we would make it barely. He was still in his soccer uniform. So they've never missed us at parties. Yeah. And now that we're with the photo booth, they're trying to be like, hey, like, is one of your booths available? Because that's the only way that they know that we're going to at least make an appearance. Because if they at least book us, it's like, okay, well, nobody else is booking that booth. So yeah, we can at least make it to that party.
I would think another, maybe I'm just thinking, maybe you've already tried this, but like, have you thought about getting into some clubs potentially? Maybe putting like a designated photo booth for that club?
We tried. What am I? No? Okay, so we stay pretty busy. So now we have attendants that we actually pay to help us work the events, which is actually like my best friend from, my orthodontic job. Like we're really close friends. And my ex-sister-in-law, she's still part of, she's part of the family. She's been with us for so long that, obviously extra cash, extra money for them, like on the weekends, like it doesn't hurt. So we have, what did we say? What were we talking about?
Oh, about getting a photo booth inside of a club.
Okay, yeah. Gabby, for her birthday, she tried getting us at New West.
New West.
At
over
New
here.
I don't know if y'all listen to Tejano music or anything, but it's an old club. And she wanted a photo booth for her birthday. She had already booked a table. She's like, hey, I want a photo booth. And at first they told her yes. And then at the end they backed out. And I'm like, man.
The club backed out?
Yeah, the club. Like liability. And I was like, I have proof of insurance. Because that's another thing too, is like all these people. Yeah, you have to have proof of insurance for certain, like especially all the bougie venues in Dallas. Like you definitely have to have, proof of insurance. Yeah. And she tried it and they said yes, and then at the last minute I literally had the booth outside the club, like in the truck still, but they were like, no.
But that was the only one, so you haven't trying to go to any other club or anything like that? I feel like that'd be a really good idea though, like
drunks really in a photo booth.
I mean, you say that, but if you think about it, at all these other parties, they're almost drunk as well. Like weddings, parties.
I feel like we're pretty smart about. We charge extra for after hours, especially the 360.
And that's fine though.
Especially for the 360.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna try to grab the fucking camera and tilt it around.
It's crazy. It's scary. So even whenever they do inquire about the 360, and like even if it's a quinceañera or a wedding, they're like, "Oh, can we start it at midnight?" I'm like, there's an extra charge. Yeah. Or anytime that it's after hours, I'm just like, no. Just because of the risks, like, it's not worth it. If they're willing to, risk that, somebody getting hurt, I'm not trying to. So that's why I add the extra charge. They're like, okay, never mind, let's push it up. So it works out.
One final question for me before we wrap up. We've talked sacrificing your weekends. We've talked, not having the support of your friends, your family, your peers when it comes to, this whole entrepreneurship journey with the photo booths from PBI. But how has being in the photo booth renting business changed your life for the better?
Oh my God. Just having that freedom to basically still, spend time with your family. We still have the flexibility of, doing all the, what he loves to do, which is play sports. So that's another thing too. Like when we looked into it, it's just like, it doesn't interfere with your soccer. It doesn't interfere with your school because it's mostly the weekends and at night. So I feel like it's definitely changed his perspective, like, comparing, like knowing how much his friends are making, how many hours they're putting in compared to him. It's been very rewarding, like, and then the fact that we've been able to grow it now as a family where now everybody plays a role. We love it. Like, it's just the freedom of it. It's fun. It's been fun.
Okay, this is my last question before we wrap this up. Where do you see yourself with this company in 2 years?
Ooh.
Maybe at 14 different ones, maybe 10.
I mean, the sky's the limit. Like I said, like I follow so many other photo booth companies outside of Texas even, and like it's pretty. Once you have the resume, like, like you have the reputation and you're well known and people trust you. Like, that's the biggest thing. The hardest thing is to get people's trust because there's so many companies scamming and not just in photo booths, like anything party rental, like decor, balloons, like you'll have people talking about like, oh, I paid them a deposit. They didn't show up, this and that. That's like the hardest thing. And it's like, once you get up, past that, like, like I said, the sky's the limit. And it's just really like treating it like a business, taking care of keeping your award and, just your customer service takes you so far, like talking to people, networking and just letting them know what the photo booth is going to do for them. Like whether it's a wedding and it's like, oh, well, your guests are going to have quality pictures printed. And if it's a company, it's like, oh, well, it's, you know, free networking, free marketing for you because we can put your logo on it. We can put your website on there. You have to sell it to them for, you know, what's going to benefit them in that aspect. So, yeah, definitely expand it. I really want to do bigger company events. Yeah, I'm definitely shooting for those $5,000 event, 10,000.
That's big right there. Because then now it makes everything so much more worth it. And at that point, you'll just maybe stop doing the smaller events and just look nothing but corporate big ones. And you're like, now it's really worth it for us to have 20 different ones or 15 different ones because now we're hitting all the bigger markets.
Yeah, or sometimes I end up, who knows, maybe I end up downgrading on the amount of booths and just doing those 1-2 bigger month, you know, two events a month rather than how many did I have this past month? 20,
yeah. I know.
25. So I don't even know.
If you can go from 20 or 25 down to 5 and make double or triple the money, you're just like, I'd much rather do this and then instead of that. And then that way doing that, like you were saying before, you can help out those smaller people trying to do this, make it as a side hustle. You say, I got all these other ones going for you. I can give you these different ones. Yes. Which is really good. That's and I mean, nice. That's
the biggest thing for me is just like helping other companies, like, you know, see the potential of it. And I try to just tell them, like, you know, don't get discouraged because it's going to be competitive. There's definitely, you know, so many other companies out there, but you have to stand out and find what works for you. And don't treat it like a side hustle. Like, treat it like a real business, and they'll see the benefit in the long run for sure.
That's so great. I love your story. It's amazing.
I know. It's all, you know, good. Family, young entrepreneurship, success, dreams, everything that you need.
All packed into one.
I'm telling you.
For sure.
Well, I want to thank you for making the drive out here and hopping on a direct discussions with us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You know, so many questions have been answered off the top of my head in regards to the photo booth business. I might just grab me one.
I wasn't even lying. I really thought about it too. Like, before we even had Josh, I was like, this is a good business to get into. But then it's just like, it's just maybe not right timing or whatever the case may be. But it is for sure a good idea. And I want to tell you again, thank you for so much for coming on and making this drive out here. I know it was a little bit of a drive, but I really do appreciate you for taking the time out for that.
No, yeah. Thank you for inviting me. And I look forward to definitely coming back because, you know, I feel like we'll have more stories later for sure.
Yeah, legit a testimony of the photo booth industry. So that's really great.
Thank you.
If you guys want to link up with Juanita Jimenez Rivera on Instagram, I know, we're like, damn, that's tough. If you guys want to link up with her on Instagram, we're going to plug everything in the bio down there at the description. Her Instagram is at Premier Photo with an F, Photo Booth.
Yes.
Again, link down in the description. It's going to be there. If you need more information, reach out to her. She'll get you set up right. Check out her content. Book her. Sure. You gotta book her, bro. Them backdrops on her Instagram are amazing. It's ridiculous. It's like you can go anywhere and just have a little banner in the back. No, she's hooking you guys up, bro, for the price. She should be charging more, honestly. Yeah.
We are.
So honestly, if you are thinking about getting into the photo booth industry, you might as well have an event, invite her to it, have her throw it, so you can see the firsthand how it's all going to go and everything like that, if you're interested. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next episode of Direct Discussions. We appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. We'll see you at the next one. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.